Rikers Island, the bridge of no return. Before we dive into what really happens inside Rikers Island, go ahead and subscribe. Once you cross that bridge, the truth doesn't come back with you. Darius Cole saw the sky was the color of the river, cold, gray, and heavy with warning. He was 25, arrested after being mistakenly linked to a robbery he didn't commit, but soon meant nothing in a place like Rikers. Darius felt the island's personality, something old and dangerous beneath the concrete. Rikers wasn't just a jail, it was a maze that swallowed you whole. The intake room felt like a storm trapped inside four walls, with guards shouting orders. Darius kept his head down, knowing eye contact was an invitation for trouble or bad bargains. He was stripped of his identity, handed baggy pants and worn-out sandals. A guard with a thick Brooklyn accent shoved him forward toward his fate. Cole, C-95, Dorm 4B. That's where everything would begin. He didn't know that 4B was the nexus where the island's truth would start to unravel. The dorm looked like a warehouse that had finally given up hope. The mattress was thin, barely softer than the unforgiving metal frame. Across from him sat a man with sharp eyes and a calm posture too calm for this place. Reynaldo Torres introduced himself, radiating a precision born from survival. Darius sensed instantly. Ray was an ally you wanted, never an enemy. Ray noted Darius didn't have the look the one people get when they realize they might not leave. Darius didn't understand that the island's personality was more than just concrete. It was something old and dangerous that lived beneath the surface. Rikers wasn't run by the Department of Correction. It was run by the currents inside it. The unspoken rules decided who ate, who slept, and who moved freely. In 4B, the hounds controlled the phones and access to commissary goods. The Stone Crew, meanwhile, controlled intimidation, favors, and the general movement of inmates. Between the two factions was only a thin strip of peace, thin enough to tear at any moment. Ray advised Darius firmly, "Stay neutral, or you want to disappear." Disappearing here meant being swallowed by the system, silenced in an institutional fog. It was an environment where every action had an unexpected, hidden cost. 2 days in, Darius made his first mistake. He used the wrong phone without knowing the rules. When he dialed his mother's number, he attracted the attention of the hounds. Their leader, Kendrick, leaned in close, his voice low and menacingly calm. "This ain't your phone, new boy," Kendrick stated. "You pay or you bleed." Darius, unprepared for this confrontation, simply froze, his unpreparedness evident. Suddenly, Ray stepped in, asserting his quiet, unexpected authority. "Relax," Ray said simply. "He's with me." The hounds hesitated, respecting Ray's reputation. At Kendrick's jaw tightened, but he conceded, warning, "Next time he pays." Darius exhaled shakily, muttering his thanks to the man who saved him from immediate harm. At Reynaldo Torres didn't smile. He knew saving him was just trading one problem for another. "Don't thank me yet," Ray warned. "You just made a debt without knowing what it costs." The razor wire outside wasn't the real trap. The constant, invisible pressure inside was. Darius noticed how guards watched without truly watching, maintaining the tension. The facility had a pulse, an emotional weather system that dictated survival. Fights erupted not always from anger, but from the tension built in hallways too narrow for all that pressure. Darius watched how the food line could spark a riot over reasons nobody could fully explain. The system was showing signs of stress. Rumors spread about a missing inmate from another dorm. At Reynaldo Torres whispered that transfers weren't always paperwork mistakes. "Sometimes the island decides who stays and who goes," Ray confirmed grimly. The turning point arrived on a Wednesday afternoon, during recreation hour. Kendrick approached Darius with a smile that was anything but friendly, demanding a little job. Darius refused, but Kendrick reminded him of the debt incurred using his phone. Before Darius could respond, 2 guards abruptly appeared and called for both Cole and Torres. And at Reynaldo Torres stiffened immediately, recognizing the irregularity of the joint summons. "That's not real," Ray whispered urgently. "They don't call 2 from the same dorm unless something's truly wrong." The guards marched them down a hallway Darius hadn't seen before, long, cold, and unsettlingly quiet. At the end of the path stood a single door with no label, suggesting an unofficial destination. One guard knocked twice, an unusual signal that preceded a command from inside. A voice commanded, Bring them. Ray shot Darius a look that carved fear deep into his bones. Inside, there were only 2 chairs and 1 table, set for a very specific meeting. Had Reynaldo Torres whispered a final warning to his companion. Don't agree to anything. A man in a dark suit smiled. Gentlemen, let's talk about what really runs Rikers Island.